Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone, and sorry for the delay. We just had a few technical issues being able to broadcast the PowerPoint presentation, but we're there now. So, welcome to the presentation on the training camp to Le Bas Temple-sur-Lot in France in 2026 this year. The dates for the camp, as you can see, are the 10th of April to the 17th of April. So this presentation it's going to be about 50 minutes long. It's just going to run you through what happens at training camp, how training camps set up, and basic itineraries and a few other things like that. But if we go into the contents page, next page, please, John, I can tell you what we're going to go through. So this presentation will cover location, the river we row on, the venue, meals, facilities, accommodation, a typical day on camp, types of training. I've put meals in twice, study time, travel arrangements, passport and GHIC, packing list and staff on the trip. So if we can move on, please, John. Right, so the location of the training camp is, you can see where on the Google map there, where I copied it from, the red symbol. So it's about 1 hour south of Bordeaux, and it's in a little village called Temple-sur-Lot. It's called Temple-sur-Lot because the castle there was created by the Templar Knights, and it's on the river Lot, which is a huge river. And you can see to the right of the France map the river, and you can see the little village Temple-sur-Lot, and that is where we are. The weather when we're there this time of year can be quite varied. The average temperature for April is between 418 or 4 to 6 degrees Celsius. So it's not bad. It's a lot warmer than we are over in the UK that type of year, and it actually makes for some great rowing conditions, but it can be quite cold. And we've had glorious weather where it's just been shorts and t-shirts, and we've had it the other way where it's been fairly windy and everyone's had to wrap up. So we'll come to the packing list later on, but it's a great part of France, really relaxed, really nice area, and great river for training in. So if we can move on, please, John. So this shows you a picture of the River Lot. The part we row on is 25 kilometers long. One end of it, down from the training venue, Le Bas, is a hydroelectric plant. So the river is actually kept at a constant height and a constant speed. So the flow of the river is really, really slow. And the height, just if it does vary, it varies by, I don't know, 10 centimeters. There's also from a 1K buoyed course literally finishes at the training venue and stretches downstream for 1K. So we can get a 2K course in away from the training facility. It's got a slight bend in it, but it's good enough for what we need. And there is a 1K buoyed course we can use as well. So we can actually get 4, 5, 6 boats abreast on the river quite easily. And it means that we can cater for all types of training, whether we want to do long distance training, whether we want to do sprint work, whether we want to do 2K work, whether we want to do technical work. This river caters for everything. If we can go to the next slide, please, John. Right, so this is the venue. It's purpose built as a sport activity centre, and part of the purpose there is to supply facilities for the sport of rowing. The whole venue, if you look at the graphic diagram, you can see the river at the top and you can see the road at the bottom. The whole venue is pretty much, well, it is fenced in, so there's lots of space, and it's very secure. You can't really wander off out of those limits. The facility has two very large sports arenas, which we make use of, and it has S&C rooms. So you can see also that I've highlighted where one of our accommodation buildings in, that's the top one. That is where the J16s and seniors will be staying. That was purposely built for the 2024 Olympics as a training venue. So that's got pool, gym, etc. in it, and it's also got accommodation in it, and we'll come to accommodation further on. And if you look down, there's an arrow which says the castle accommodation, and that is where the J15s will be staying. There is a subway underneath the road to get to the castle and to the village. So everything's very, very safe when moving around. Pupils can go and visit the village, walk backwards and forwards from the castle, as long as they go in a minimum group size. I've put 4 there, we usually say 3, and notify the duty staff when they leave and on their return. So the venue actually caters for everything we need. As I said, it's got 2 huge sports halls, S&C rooms, swimming pools, and plenty of landing stage and boat storage. It's also got outside recreational basketball courts, so we can get up to loads of activities on the land when we're land training, or in the girls' free time. If they want to go and play basketball, they can, or whatever they want to do. That's not a problem. If we can, yes, I was going to say, the village has got a little shop, and when I mean little, it's very little, but it does contain snacks and sweets and drinks. So the rowers can go over there and spend your money to indulge themselves in whatever they want to buy. If we can go to the next slide. Right, so here we are, facilities. So this slide shows you the picture of the new sports hall, and it shows you pictures of the S&C rooms, the swimming pool, and also what the inside of the old sports hall looks like. So they're really, really big, and we use those for cross training. We also use them for our talent show. We use the old sports hall, which is the one on the bottom right, for the talent show. So when we're taking part in our S&C rooms, S&C training, you can see the type of equipment we can use and the space that's available. And if we're doing cross training, we can use the sports hall. And there's lots of space on the site, so there's lots of space. It's nice to go outside and relax and whatever and just chill out. And you can also see there's a picture of what one of the basketball courts looks like, so pupils can go off and, you know, enjoy themselves at their own leisure, playing basketball or having a basketball game against the staff. So we're, as I said, we're very, very well catered for in terms of training facilities. If we can have the next slide, please, John. So moving on to the accommodation. So I think it's pretty obvious, hopefully, which one is the castle. So the accommodation in the castle is actually 2 to 3 persons. The single rooms will be for the staff, and those rooms will have a toilet and shower in them. I think some of them may even have an ensuite in them, but it's either toilet and shower ensuite. And the rooms are they're fairly basic, but they're clean and nice and well presented. So there will be 2 or 3 pupils sharing in those rooms. The building that was built for the 2024 Olympics on the right, I've got a picture there. These pictures have actually come from the venue themselves, so they don't really show the rooms in any great justice, but they're all new, clean, modern rooms that were created for the athletes that were training for the 2024 Olympics. They're all twin rooms, and they all have ensuites. Each venue has areas for study, rooms that you can study in, not the actual rooms themselves. You can study in the rooms itself, but there are larger rooms where there can be communal studying. So this is a slightly different form we've done before, and I think hopefully it'll prove very, very popular. If we can have the next slide, John. So a typical day on the training camp looks something like this. So you can see, if you go across, you can see J18, J16, J15 breakfast times, training times, and then break revision times, then training, lunch, revision time again, then another training session, and then the evening meal, then revision time, then lights out. So this is just a typical day. The J15s will generally do a slightly different training plan to the 16s and seniors, where the 16s and seniors, or certainly the seniors, there's more training involved in the 16s. They're slightly detuned from the 18s, and the 15s training plan is detuned from the 16s training plan. The training plans all dovetail in together to make sure that we can make maximum use of the time available for training in the way they overlap, and the number of coaches we've got on each training session. Whilst it might say training session 1, 2 or 3, it doesn't mean that all training sessions are on the water, and it doesn't mean that all training sessions are on the land. Generally speaking, for the 16s and seniors, there'll be at least 2 training sessions on the water, and then a training session on the land, interspersed with 3 training sessions on the water for some days. We do have the day of the talent show. That afternoon is off, and it's only morning training. So it's kind of a rest day, revision day, and then going into the talent show. It is very well balanced. All this information, a full itinerary will be sent out to you either this Friday or next Friday, and that will show you a full itinerary of what's going on each day and how it's all broken down for each squad. So that's just being finalised. We're just waiting on some bits and pieces to come through from France, depending on meal times, and then I can put that all to bed and send that off. But that will have a complete breakdown of every day's training and the arrival times and departure times, etc., and information like that. But I just thought it was worth showing you what a typical day on camp consisted of. But as I said, it's a flexible training program, so if the weather's a bit inclement, we can be fluid about the training we do and change it as required. So if we can move on to the next slide, please, John. Oh, there we are. I think I've actually said a lot about the training there. So yes, so 2 to 3 training sessions per day, mixture of rowing, strength conditioning, cross training, or workshops. Workshops can be reviews of the training session. So it could be video analysis. It can be talking through technical points. It could be talking about race plans and a whole host of other topics. So we do cover a lot within the workshops and within the training. The training times that have been set out, they are the start and finish time, and they include the briefing, the debrief, so their end, start, and everything has to be contained within those training times. The training times are not meant to spill over and cause any problem into the downtime, rest time, revision time, meal time. So I'm keeping very strict adherence to the times that I've planned for the training, so everyone knows exactly where they're going to be and the amount of time they've got to revise and get ready to go to their meals, etc. I think we need to respect the time that the pupils have to have for their free time and the revision time, and the time they need to change between outings and get off other kit, put different kit on, etc. So everything we have in the training time, the allotted time, everything has to be done within that. So if we can move on, meals. So all meals are served at the restaurant. What I'm waiting for at the moment is whether the venue can serve meals in the castle, or it can serve meals in the restaurant. So I don't know at the moment if they're planning to use both facilities for the different squads or one facility for all the squads. So that's something I'm waiting to hear back from. But as per last year, we made a change to the meal provision in that we've allocated out of the funds more money towards the meals, so they can tailor to our requirements a bit more and provide a bit more selection during the course of the day, more quantities of meals during the course of the day, and the focus we want on protein, carbs, vegetables, etc., and desserts. So that I'll be working with La Basse. The venue we go into is called La Basse. I'll be working with them to tailor those requirements for us to make sure that our rowers have the correct nutrition balance that is required to sustain them through the training camp, keep them fueled up each day, not only for training but also for studying and other activities. So that's something I work on with La Basse between now and when we go to camp. You should be receiving, or you will be receiving soon, the link to click on to the enter your full camp information requirements, which will also include dietary requirements. So it's very important that when you're filling in all the details of information for your child, that you enter all the dietary requirements before we leave. I do go through and check them all, and I will send out an email before we leave saying, is there any other things that have been missed off? Because I send all that information of dietary requirements and allergies over to France to make sure they're aware of things. I will say though that it is France, and if our interpretation of what vegetarian food is over here, or halal or whatever, is slightly different to what their vegetarian food is over in France. It is a little bit more basic, but they are getting better, and I will endeavour to do my best for them to provide a better standard of various requirements that are required for people with specific dietary needs. And again, I'll be liaising with Labas about that. Excuse me. So breakfast, lunch and dinner are all served in a buffet style requirement, buffet style arrangement. And as I said, one thing I'm making sure is we've got ample quantity of everything. So, you know, if pupils want more, they can have more. So as again, that's something I'll be talking to France about. I think it worked quite well last year. So hopefully we'll do the same this year. Afternoon snacks are provided by the venue. And as I've already said, there's a small shop in the village where the rowers can go and, you know, buy their own items. We also recommend that if you've, sorry, you've got a bit of a cough at the moment. We also recommend that if your child has some favourite snacks from the UK, you might want to pack them and send them off with your child when they depart the UK. Having said that, we do make very regular trips to the supermarket to stock up on loads of healthy snacks for refueling, etc. So we're always to and fro and buying a wide variety of healthy snacks and options to refuel and recharge the system on. And also, you know, if you're just feeling a little peckish, just to be able to just take a snack as and when you want. We also make sure that if it's anyone's birthday when we're away, that we get birthday cakes as well. So that's something we always like to do to celebrate people's birthdays. We also realise it's Easter, so we do a Easter egg hunt as well. So we make sure that happens. So I think with the provision of food that the BAS provides and the healthy snacks that we provide when we're out there, and the afternoon snacks that are provided by the venue, there is more than enough sustenance to keep everyone going, and hopefully variety. If you can go to the next slide, please. Right, yes, study time. So I made an analysis this year of how many free hours are available for revision across the time we are there. And it comes to roughly, well, it does come to a minimum of 34 hours. So there is a lot of time allocated for revision through the week and throughout the day. So hopefully that will allay any fears that there's not enough time to study. As you can see there's a minimum of 34 hours. So there's, one would say, a good amount of time available in between training to study. Historically, we find that most pupils make the most of their spare time studying, and the feedback I receive is that a lot of them tend to get more studying done when they're away on camp than maybe they would at home. I think this is typically because the environment in the study rooms, as you can see in the picture there, it's heads down study, and I think that that kind of permeates through certainly through the 16s and seniors to kind of get on with things. We do monitor the revision and see who's doing it and not doing it, and kind of keep an eye on things and encouraging it to be done. So yeah, study periods are monitored by staff, but on the whole, in the past, everyone that goes is on the on the whole quite self-motivated. Those that aren't, we kind of help and encourage and see if we can help them along the way. We do, excuse me. We do have 2 teachers going this year, Mr. Howes and Miss Evans. So they're there to help as well with the study periods and time, and if there's any issues and problems, they will be on hand. So yes, 34 hours minimum of studying time. So as I said, hopefully that gives you some cheer that there's plenty of time set aside for studying during the course of the camp. If we can move on to the next slide, please. Travel arrangements. Okay, so we depart on Friday the 10th of April. The flight out is quite an early one, but it means we do get there early and we can rig up early and then get straight into our training. So unfortunately it is an early start, as you can see. It's what's that, 10 to 4. The coach leaves for Heathrow, and then pupils arrive at Heathrow about an hour later, so 10 to 5, and then the flight leaves at 10 to 8 and arrives in Toulouse at 10:35. Then obviously there's a transfer time, but this is just a travel arrangement. So I would expect the pupils to arrive around about 12:30 local time in France, so in time to have lunch and in time to have our first sort of safety briefing, where we go through all the do's and don'ts and what to do with fire and risk and the river. So there's a full safety briefing given when we're there, rules of conduct, muster points, fire exits, etc., and that type of thing in both the accommodation locations and on the site itself. And we then go also through what to do if there's illness, injury, etc., and how to report that to us, and then what we do and how we proceed with that. So we have a full safety briefing. Then after that, we go and rig all the boats. Though I should have said we check in as well. So safety briefing, check in, rig boats. And they're the things we do on the first day. On the right, that's wrong. We're not departing on Saturday the 12th of April. I don't know what's out there. We are departing on Friday the 17th of April. But the rest of the information is correct. So it will be breakfast at 7 o'clock, coach pickup around 7:40 from Temple Salot, and then arrive at Toulouse Airport around 9:40. Return flight is 11:35, and the coach will be on hand to pick up from Heathrow collection, with a return back then to the SAR. All this detail will be in the full itinerary where it comes to you with everything correct. So I apologise. I don't know why it's in there. Maybe it didn't save or something. But anyway, the itinerary will be correct. But essentially, it's an early start on Friday and a not too early start compared to last year on Friday, where we return back into the SAR. So moving on, down at the bottom. Sorry, John, if you can just go back. You can just go back to the last slide. All pupils receive an emergency contact card, and that is for them to keep. We have lots of spare ones, and it has the school mobile phone number on it, and the location of the centre and the school UK phone number on it, and the centre phone number and the address. So if they get lost, if there's any problems, they can get hold of staff or the centre or the school. If we can move on, John, please. But luggage per person, it's up to 23 kilos per person checked into the hold. The cabin bag is 40 by 30 by 15, and you obviously can put your essentials in there. If anyone's taken any rigger jiggers and spanners, they must go into the hold luggage. You can check luggage, obviously requirements with British Airways. If you go to their baggage information page, this is where I took this from. So that will, so if you want more detail, go to the British Airways baggage information page. But essentially, it's standard baggage sizes for the short haul trip. If we can move on, please, John. Right. Obviously, you need to send your child with their passport and GHIC, GHIC being the Global Health Insurance Card. Everyone is covered by the school insurance, but if you want to take out your own insurance, you can. But it's important that your child arrives with the passport, otherwise that could cause problems for them. We do check passports before everyone gets on the coach to go to Heathrow, and we do check that the GHIC is there. What is important is there is the 10-year rule that's been introduced. So the passport can't be older than 10 years before the date of our travel. Sorry, I'm just seeing that's another date that's wrong there. I think this might be the wrong PowerPoint presentation. So it will be obviously 10 years before the date we travel, which is the 10th of what's that? 10th of April 2016, and it must have an expiry date of at least 3 months after the date we plan to leave, so that being on Friday the 10th of April. So 10 years before the date we depart, and 3 months after the date we plan to leave. If your child is dual nationality, then that's dual nationality, British or another country, then I've been advised by the people at the agent that provides our flights to take the British passport. If you are obviously a different nationality from British, then you take that passport. If we can move on, John, please. So packing list. So on the itinerary and information pack I was sent you, it will have a full suggestion of the packing list in terms of rowing kit, casual clothing, wash medical, miscellaneous, and documents. It's worth referring to that when you're packing the items, because there are a lot of kit items that need to be worn. The girls will get through a lot of rowing kit, so it's quite important that an adequate amount of goes with them, so they can put, 3 changes on each, clean changes on each day, or 2 changes on each day. That's quite important. The venue doesn't provide towels, so please pack some towels to go with them. And we suggest about 150 euros in cash. If you give your daughter their own credit card, then that's up to you, whatever limit you want to put on it. But cash 150 for purchases at the airport or trips to the village. We also like girls to travel in the team hoodie. The colours of that haven't been worked out by the rowers yet, so I'm going to be interested to see what those colours are. But yeah, everyone will travel in the team hoodie. More information will follow on the team hoodie once we know the colours and we're able to get a price for it. So I will forward that information on in due course. If we can move on to the next one, please. So the staff going, you can see the list there. There's myself, Mr. Lana, Mr. Robinson, Ms. Rodriguez, Mr. Mitchell, Mr. Burnand, Mr. Darlow, Ms. Needham, Mr. Howes, and Miss Evans. So we've got a good number of people going on the training camp. So we're going to be well counted for a good number of staff on hand. If we can move on, please. Right, okay, so any questions? Q&A. I click on that one. Do I, John? Yeah. So if anyone's got any questions, please ask, and I'll see what I can do about answering them. Any questions at all from anyone? Well, that's unusual because usually usually we do have a few. As I said, just reflecting back. Right. Yes, thank you. Yes, there is. There is a laundry service that will be available. I have got a note to ask what days that will be available, so we all know. So yes, there will be a laundry service available. Any other questions, please? Yes, there will be an option to say if your child wants to share with anyone in particular. Obviously, we can make allowances for that. That will be going out in due course. Obviously, we're 2 months away, so we've got time to put that into action and find out who may want to share with who, or if there's any sharing friendship issues. So yes, that will be dealt with in the near future, and that you'll be advised and asked, if you can let me know who those will be. I'll be sorting that out. Can we drop and pick up at Teethrow? You can't drop off at Teethrow purely because we like to know we've got everyone on the coach at the right time. You can pick up from Heathrow, but I have to be notified about that. So we know exactly who's going to be picked up, and we need to know that you're going to be there on time, because obviously if the coach is going to be there at a certain time, then the parents have to be there at that time too, because there won't be any staff on hand to look after your child if you're late. But you can't drop them off when we leave. Everyone has to go on the coach. Are there proper doors? Yes, sir. Hold on, that one's disappeared. Are there proper doors towards? Then I can't speak. Are there proper doors and on the toilets in the bedrooms? In the new building, there certainly is. I can ask that question. It's a long time since I stayed in the castle. From memory, yes, there is. But I can ask that question. I can't be 100% certain on that. But I can certainly ask those questions. Let me just make a note of that one. Are the seniors in twin rooms? Yeah, the seniors are in twin rooms. Are showers communal, or is it in a separate ensuite? In the new block, it's in a separate ensuite. The showers in the castle are contained within the room they're in, I believe, but I can ask and find out. I'm not 100% sure on that one at this present moment in time. Again, from memory, it's a long time since I stayed there. They were actually in the rooms where the beds were. Do the J16s seniors have a... Do the 16s and seniors have different time for curfew than the J15s? On the whole, we've put it all at the same time. They are in different buildings, 16s and 15s. So it is lights out at 10:30 if anyone from the parents from the J15 squad thinks that's too late, or the J16 squad, then, or the seniors, we can amend those times. But they're the times that we've put in place every year that we've gone. Any other questions? The 16s are staying in the new accommodation, so they're twin rooms. Okay. I've just been asked, is the training separated per squad, or are there activities across the entire for all the squads at the same time? I think this is what this means. No, each squad generally has their own training plan, and as a rule, train separately. However, there are sessions where we put in where we have like on the last day we have a whole group squad, all squads together, regatta. We might do time trials with the J16s and 18s together, or the 15s might work with the J16s. So we do vary it, but the majority of it is within their own squads. If we're doing a long water training session to get mileage in, then that might be all the squads together, and we might just cut down the amount of mileage between the 15s and the 16s, or the 18s. So the majority of it is within their own squads, but there is some where the squads do come together. I hope that answers that one. Any more questions? Any more from anyone at all? We've got a few minutes left. Ah, here we are, scrolling down. Can there be 316 staying in room? Not if they're twin rooms. When do the children receive the hoodies? Before we go away. They haven't been designed yet, and the girls haven't made decided on the colours. So as soon as we know that, we can get cracking on them. Do we get to pick who we share with? Within reason, yes. Where do the staff stay? So the staff are dispersed within the accommodation of where the 15s stay in the castle, and where the 16s and seniors stay in the new accommodation. Staff are on hand in both of those accommodation blocks. Can we please have a Camp Unitard, please? Yes, you can. I'm just making a note of that. Are the boats solely going to be, I'm not too sure what that means. Are the boats solely going to be selected cruise APA? No. We do training in, we will train in boats that will be going to Nat schools, but we do mix crews around as well. So it's not going to be 100% in the boat you may be racing in. We will, as we have done in previous years, given people experience rowing with other people. I've answered where the staff stay. Can we possibly get permission to wear the hoodies around school? Well, that's an interesting one. We'll see what we can do on that. Can we have a camp unitard? Yep, done that one. Do our children J15s get help to create the hoodies? Generally, what happens is a colour's chosen on, usually by the, well, we like to have one colour hoodie. If we have one colour hoodie for the whole squad that's going, it makes it easy for us to recognise them when they're in the airports, rather than having different colour hoodies for each squad, which can get a bit confusing. We usually have the one hoodie because it's easily recognisable when we're travelling, when we're out and about. This is a good one, anonymous, yippee. So thank you for that, whatever that was. Any other questions? We've got 1 minute. 1 minute for another question. As I said, probably about the technical issues. I think that's why we might have had some wrong information on the PowerPoint. We were struggling to actually get something published for you to see. But everything will come to you anyway within the itinerary, which will be correct. So I hope that's been beneficial for everyone that's been online. Without any more questions, I think we'll end it there. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much. Goodbye.